Beyond the Gates spoilers full. Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day to dive deep into the latest television drama that has completely taken over our screens. We are so thrilled to have you here as we unpack the newest, most shocking developments. Grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let us get right into the heart of the story. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing. Put down whatever you are holding. Pull over the car if you are driving. Cancel all your meetings for the rest of the day, because I am literally shaking right now and we need to talk about this now. Send help. My soul has actually left my body and is currently floating somewhere in the stratosphere because what I just witnessed on Beyond the Gates has fundamentally altered my brain chemistry forever. I am genuinely hyperventilating right now. Like, I was mid-skincare routine when this scene dropped and I literally smeared a charcoal mask all over my pristine white rug because I threw myself onto the floor in pure, unadulterated shock. I had to yeet my phone across the room because I could not handle the sheer audacity of what my eyes were seeing. Bestie, be for real right now, because the writers have officially lost their minds in the best way possible, and I am spiraling. We are not just watching a show anymore. We are invested, we are traumatized, and I am personally victimized by Andre Richardson and Hayley Hamilton. Yes, you heard me correctly. Andre and Hayley. My brain is buffering. Okay, back to the main event. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step, and I need to set the stage so you fully grasp the gravity of this absolute dumpster fire. Let us just rewind to the absolute mess that has been Bill Hamilton's life lately. So, as we all know, Bill has been hospitalized, and everyone in Fairmont Crest is acting like it is just some random, tragic health crisis. But we, the viewers, have known since October 2025 that Hayley has been slowly, pathetically poisoning him. Legit, the fandom has been calling her the worst Black Widow copycat in the history of television because it has taken her nearly a year to do what a real villain would accomplish in a single weekend. Like, genuinely, is Bill just built out of titanium? Or is Hayley just straight up incompetent? I am leaning heavily towards incompetent, to be honest. But regardless, Bill is laying there in a hospital bed, completely oblivious to the fact that his gold-digging, backstabbing wife is the one putting him in an early grave. And reminder, she was his ex-wife's daughter's best friend. Which is honestly so unhinged. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but remember Danny's massive Freudian slip? The one where she literally called Bill her husband in front of her entire family? In the present tense? Basically, Danny and Bill had that secret, steamy elevator hookup during the tornado. And ever since then, Danny has been spiraling out of control. Her family, especially her dad, Vernon Dupree, has been on high alert. Vernon, Anita, and Nicole literally formed a family tribunal to interrogate Danny about why she is so overly invested in her ex-husband's survival while her actual husband, Andre, is supposedly being the supportive rock. But Vernon? Vernon is not just a stern patriarch. The man is a human lie detector. He is smart, he is calculating, and he smells a massive rat in this entire situation. He legit looked at the whole dynamic, looked at Bill's sudden decline, looked at Hayley's sketchy behavior, and thought that the math simply was not mathing. But here's where the tea gets so hot it is melting the cup, and I need you to brace yourselves. Vernon did not just suspect Hayley. No. Vernon started suspecting Andree. Yes, Andre Richardson, Danny's current husband, the man who has supposedly been her absolute rock, the man who has stood by her through all of Bill's toxic drama. Vernon somehow connected the invisible dots and suspected that Hayley and Andre are working together to poison Bill. Did I say that yet? Ugh, my brain is mush. Moving on. But seriously, think about it. Andre's been getting those weird, cryptic stalker texts lately. He has been having secret meetings, seeking advice from Uncle Ted, acting all paranoid and stoic. We all thought he was just dealing with some past demons, or maybe Heather Armstrong was messing with him. But what if his current demon is a literal, active alliance with Hayley Hamilton? I am officially putting Andre on my do not perceive list. I am so done with him. How could Andre do this to Danny? Or wait, is he doing this because of Danny? Because he knows she still loves Bill and he wants to eliminate the competition permanently? I am spiraling into existential tangents right now, clutching my chest because I am literally too unwell to handle this level of psychological warfare. Let us dissect this toxic alliance for a second, because my brain is spinning trying to figure out how they even teamed up in the first place. Hayley hates Danny because Danny is Bill's true love, and Hayley is just the pathetic, unloved replacement. Andre is married to Danny but probably resents the absolute hell out of Bill for always occupying a massive space in Danny's heart. So, did they bond over their mutual jealousy? Did Andre find out Hayley was poisoning Bill and decide to help her speed up the process? Or at least cover for her, so that Bill would finally be out of the picture and Danny would be his forever? It is giving Shakespearean tragedy mixed with a gritty true crime documentary, and I am totally living for it while simultaneously being traumatized by it. So, Vernon, being the absolute legend and fiercely protective father that he is, decides he is going to take matters into his own hands. He does not just sit back and wait for Joey Armstrong or the local authorities to figure it out. No, Vernon goes full on private investigator mode. He decides to secretly follow them to see what they are actually up to. And besties, the cinematic mayhem of this sequence was an absolute 10 out of 10 psychological masterpiece. The stakes were astronomical. We see Vernon trailing behind them in the dark, and the aesthetic was giving straight up neo-noir thriller vibes. The heavy shadows, the tense, thumping background music, the way the camera kept panning to Vernon's intense, focused eyes. I was literally screaming at my television screen, telling Vernon to be careful because these people are completely unhinged. But Vernon is fearless. He is tracking their movements, watching them meet up in secret, confirming his absolute worst suspicions. Andree and Hayley, the most cursed duo to ever grace our screens, whispering in the shadows, probably plotting their next dose of whatever slow-acting garbage Hayley has been slipping into Bill's system. Wait, I need to veer off into a completely random tangent for a second because I cannot stop thinking about it. Did anyone else notice the weird background noise during that stalking scene? It sounded like a dripping pipe or maybe a very distant train rumbling over tracks, and it added this thick layer of gritty, industrial dread that just made my skin crawl. And Vernon was wearing this trench coat that looked so incredibly crisp, like, "Sir, you are on a highly dangerous stealth mission. Why do you look like you are ready for a high-fashion magazine photo shoot?" Honestly, the wardrobe department deserves a massive raise. But also, it made him stand out so much. Like, maybe if he wore a dark hoodie, he would not have gotten caught. But no, Vernon has to look like a distinguished, wealthy gentleman while doing his amateur espionage. Okay, wait, I'm glitching again. Okay, back to the main event. Where was I? Right, Vernon stalking the toxic twins in the alleyway. So, Vernon is watching them, and he is gathering the ultimate tea. He is probably standing there thinking about how he is going to expose them, save Bill, and protect his daughter from this massive, life-ruining betrayal. Even though Vernon hates Bill for what he did to Danny in the past, he loves his daughter too much to let her be tied to a murderer. But Vernon, as smart and calculating as he is, makes one fatal, devastating flaw. He gets just a little too close. Genuinely, my heart dropped entirely into my stomach. One minute, he is perfectly hidden behind a brick wall, and the next, he accidentally kicks a loose piece of gravel. Or maybe he just breathed too loudly. I do not even know. My vision was blurring from the sheer stress of the moment, but Andree's head snaps around so fast it is terrifying. And let me tell you, the look in Andree's eyes was straight up demonic. This was not the supportive, stoic husband we have known. This was a cornered predator who just realized he was being hunted by his own father-in-law. Hayley freezes, looking exactly like a panicked deer in headlights. But Andree locks onto Vernon's exact location with lethal precision. Bestie, the chase that ensued? I am literally hyperventilating just remembering it right now. Vernon realizes he has been spotted and he immediately bolts. But Vernon is an older man, and Andree is fueled by the sheer, unadulterated panic of his dark, twisted secrets being exposed to the world. Andree sprints after him, and the camera work here was so chaotic, shaky, and fast-paced. I genuinely felt like I was running for my own life through my living room. I was gripping my couch cushions so hard my knuckles were completely white. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, completely ignoring the fact that my neighbors probably think I am being actively attacked. Andree is closing the distance rapidly, and you can just feel the violent, aggressive energy radiating off of him through the screen. It is giving major villain arc, and I am calling it right now. Andree is about to go entirely nuclear on this town. He is not just a passive participant in this poisoning plot. He is the muscle, he is the enforcer, and he is terrifying. And then, the absolute unthinkable happens. Andree catches up to Vernon. He does not just grab him by the collar and threaten him to stay quiet. He does not try to negotiate or explain himself. He straight up attacks him. Andree tackles Vernon, or hits him from behind. It happens so incredibly fast that my brain is still visibly buffering from the sheer audacity of it all. Andree strikes Vernon with a brutal, sickening blow, and Vernon just completely crumbles. He falls heavily to the ground, completely unconscious. The great, unyielding patriarch of the Dupree family laid out cold on the dirty pavement by his own trusted son-in-law. I literally stopped breathing. I paused the episode, walked around my living room 3 times in a daze, and had to drink a massive glass of water because I felt like I was going to faint. How are they going to explain this? What is Danny going to do when she finds out her husband violently assaulted her father? I am physically vibrating from the stress of this family dynamic. It is too much to process. Then, Hayley finally catches up to them. She comes clicking down the alleyway in her ridiculous designer heels, which, by the way, who wears stilettos to a secret murder plot meeting in a dark alley? It is so impractical, but very on brand for her delusional aesthetic. She looks down at Vernon's unconscious body, and does she show even an ounce of remorse? Does she panic and say that they need to call an ambulance immediately? Nope, she is completely, utterly cold-blooded. She looks at Andree, her eyes wide but calculating, and she drops the most chilling, sociopathic line of the entire season. She basically looks at him and says, "If he does not die, we are exposed." I am screaming. I am crying. I am throwing up. Hayley Hamilton is officially the most unhinged, diabolical, chaotic, evil character on this entire television network. She did not say, "What do we do now?" She did not say, "Let us run away." She immediately, without a second of hesitation, jumped to straight-up murder. She is basically telling Andree that they have to finish the job right here, right now. They have to permanently eliminate Vernon Dupree to protect their twisted secret. And I am just sitting there, staring blankly at my television screen, wondering how we got here so fast. From a slow, pathetic, month-long poisoning plot to a straight-up back-alley execution order, the escalation is astronomical, and I am not emotionally prepared for this level of darkness. And we need to talk about Andree's reaction, or lack thereof, because I am genuinely disgusted to my core. Bestie, be for real right now, Andree. This is your father-in-law. This is the man who welcomed you into his family, the man who trusted you with his beloved daughter, and you were just standing there hovering over his unconscious, vulnerable body, listening to your psychotic co-conspirator tell you that you need to murder him in cold blood? They are both officially on my do not perceive list for the rest of eternity. I cannot even look at Andree the same way again. All that stoic, quiet, supportive energy he has been projecting for months was just a carefully constructed mask for a deeply disturbed, violent man who is willing to kill an elder to keep his secrets buried. The betrayal is so deep and so visceral that it feels like a personal attack on my actual soul. And poor Vernon. We always see Vernon as this towering, intimidating figure of absolute authority. He is the one demanding answers from everyone, the one putting casino boss Joey Armstrong in his place, the one leading the tribunal against Danny. To see him lying there, completely vulnerable, at the absolute mercy of these two absolute psychopaths, is genuinely heartbreaking. It strips away all his power in an instant. And the fact that his own sharp intelligence is exactly what got him into this fatal mess? If he had not been so smart, if he had not connected the dots and suspected Andree, he would be safe and sound at home with Anita right now, probably sipping a scotch. But his fierce protective instinct for his family led him straight into a literal death trap. I am literally wiping away real tears right now. If Vernon dies, I am boycotting the network. I am organizing a massive protest. I will not stand for it. But wait. The episode literally left us on that massive cliffhanger. If he does not die, we are exposed. And then it just cut to black. I am not okay. I am so far from okay that I cannot even see okay on the distant horizon. My grip on reality is slipping fast. Did she kill him? Did Hayley finally graduate from being the worst Black Widow copycat to an actual successful murderer? Or did Andree do it? Did Andree take the final, fatal step to protect himself and his twisted marriage to Danny? Or, manifesting this right now with every fiber of my being, did Vernon wake up? Did someone else show up in the nick of time? Was Joey Armstrong secretly following Vernon because they had that tense confrontation earlier? Oh my god. Imagine if Joey steps out of the shadows and saves Vernon. The Armstrong-Dupree alliance we never knew we needed, but absolutely deserve. Let us just play out the potential scenarios because I need to vent this out or I will literally explode. Scenario A. They actually kill Vernon. If they kill him, they have to hide the body, which means we are going to get a whole massive cover-up storyline. Danny will be frantically, tearfully searching for her missing father, all while being comforted and held by the very man who murdered him. That is so incredibly dark, so twisted. I do not know if my fragile heart can take watching that play out for months. The emotional damage would be entirely irreparable. I would literally have to send my therapy bills directly to the writer's room. I cannot handle Danny being manipulated like that while she is already grieving. Scenario B. They leave him for dead in the alley, but he miraculously survives and goes into a deep coma. This is a classic, tried-and-true soap opera trope, and I would not put it past them to drag this out. Vernon in a coma, completely unable to tell anyone that his own son-in-law and Bill's wife are the culprits. Andree hovering nervously by his hospital bed, pretending to be the deeply concerned family member, while secretly waiting and hoping for Vernon to flatline. Hayley sneaking into his room late at night, trying to poison his IV bag just like she is currently doing to Bill. It would be double the hospital drama, double the anxiety, and I would be physically vibrating with rage during every single episode. The suspense would actually end me. And what about Danny in all of this? Danny is already in the middle of a massive, overwhelming family crisis because of her Freudian slip calling Bill her husband. She is utterly terrified of losing Bill to this mysterious illness. If she loses her father at the exact same time, or even if he is just severely injured, she is going to completely break down. And the sickest, most twisted part is that she will lean entirely on Andree for support. She will fall right into the open arms of the man who orchestrated her worst nightmare. It is sickening. It is brilliant television. I will admit that. But it is deeply sickening. It is a high-octane psychological masterpiece where the stakes are just continuously rising until everything finally explodes. I am calling it right now. The villain arc is about to go nuclear, and Danny is going to be caught at ground zero of the blast. Genuinely, I do not know how I am supposed to sleep tonight, or any night this week. I am going to be staring blankly at my ceiling, replaying that intense chase scene over and over, replaying the sickening sound of Andree hitting Vernon, replaying Hayley's cold, dead eyes as she demanded his execution. I am manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update because there is no way this stays quiet. I need Kat Richardson to use her relentless investigative skills to find Vernon. I need Caroline Lee to figure out Hayley's game and expose her to the world. I need this entire fragile house of cards to come crashing down directly onto Andree and Hayley's heads. Until then, I will be right here, a frantic, tear-streaked mess, clutching my pillow and screaming into the void. This show is my entire personality now, and I am not okay. Send all the positive vibes to Vernon, because he desperately needs them.